It was supposed to be the perfect anniversary, a celebration of 3 years together. I had planned every detail down to the smallest touch, from the intimate dinner reservation at an upscale restaurant to the thoughtful surprises I had worked on for months. Things hadn't been easy lately. The past few months had been rocky, full of disagreements and tension, but I thought we were getting through it. We'd had our fights, sure, but they were never anything major, at least, not to me. I loved her deeply and believed she loved me in return. That night, however, would change everything I thought I knew. The day started out wonderfully. We exchanged sweet messages throughout the morning and afternoon. She seemed genuinely excited about the evening, even mentioning how much she was looking forward to the surprises I'd been teasing her about. I couldn't wait to see her reaction to the gift I had carefully chosen, a beautiful necklace with a pendant that symbolized the journey we had taken together. She had always said she wanted something meaningful, and I knew this was the perfect way to show how much she meant to me. When she arrived at the restaurant, I was captivated by her smile as she walked in. For a moment, everything felt perfect. My heart raced as I stood to greet her, and when she sat down across from me, it felt like all the tension from the past few months had melted away. The evening started exactly as I had hoped. We laughed, reminisced about our time together, and shared stories about the little things we had come to cherish in our relationship. It felt like the connection we once had was finally back. But as the night went on, something shifted. Her phone buzzed repeatedly throughout dinner. I wasn't the jealous type, but the frequency made me uneasy. I asked casually who it was, and she brushed it off, saying it was just a friend. Her response felt dismissive, but I told myself I was probably overthinking. Still, the nagging feeling in my gut told me something wasn't right. The moment that shattered everything happened while we were finishing dessert. The door to the restaurant opened, and in walked Mark, her ex-boyfriend. She had mentioned him before, but never in a way that seemed significant. He waved at her from across the room, and to my shock, she stood up to greet him. My stomach dropped. Why was he here? What was going on? Mark approached with an air of confidence that immediately put me on edge. He greeted her like an old friend, but there was something in his demeanor that felt more intimate, more knowing. "Hey, it's been a while," he said with a smile that felt almost smug. She looked uncomfortable, glancing nervously at me, but she didn't pull away as he leaned in closer. I tried to stay calm, even as my instincts screamed at me that something was very wrong. I forced a polite smile and replied, "We're just celebrating our anniversary. I want to make it clear that this was our night, that she was with me." But then it happened. Mark leaned in and kissed her, not a friendly peck on the cheek. No, this was a lingering kiss on the lips, deliberate and intimate. To my horror, she didn't pull away. She kissed him back. Time seemed to freeze. My mind struggled to process what I was seeing. My family, who happened to be seated at another table nearby, witnessed the entire thing. The restaurant grew eerily quiet as heads turned to watch the scene unfold. I felt a wave of disbelief, humiliation, and anger crash over me all at once. Was this really happening? I stood up, my voice trembling with barely contained rage. What the hell is going on here? She pulled away from Mark, her face flushed, and stammered, "It's not what you think. We were just—" I cut her off sharply. Don't even try to explain this away. You kissed him in front of me, in front of my family on our anniversary." My voice was loud enough to draw the attention of every table in the room, but I didn't care. The betrayal was too raw, too blatant. She tried to apologize, but I wasn't interested in hearing excuses. "Get your things. We're leaving. Now." The walk to the car was tense and silent, the weight of what had just happened pressing down on us like a physical force. When we got inside, she finally spoke, her voice shaky and full of regret. "It was a mistake. I didn't mean for it to happen." My response was cold, my anger barely restrained. A mistake? That wasn't a mistake. That was a choice that showed exactly where your loyalty lies. The drive home was agonizing. She kept apologizing, trying to explain, but I refused to engage. My mind replayed the moment over and over, the betrayal cutting deeper each time. When we arrived home, I turned to her and said firmly, "I need space. I don't know if this is the end, but I can't do this right now." She begged me not to give up on us, but my decision was final. "You've crossed a line I can't ignore. You disrespected me in a way that can't be undone." The weeks that followed were a blur of pain and confusion. She called and texted constantly, trying to apologize, trying to win me back. But every time I thought about that kiss, the betrayal felt fresh again. Eventually, I made the decision to end things for good. She kept reaching out, hoping I would forgive her, but the trust was gone. I focused on moving forward, on healing, on rediscovering myself. Over time, the calls stopped, and she became a memory, a painful lesson about betrayal and the importance of self-respect. That one moment, that one choice, had cost her everything. While I don't hold on to grudges, I will never forget how she made me feel. And though it hurt, I made sure she understood the consequences of her actions. Some betrayals leave scars that never truly fade. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more real-life incidents, don't forget to subscribe. My YouTube channel. We post new stories every day. Please like, share, and comment on this video to support and motivate me to bring you more interesting and heartfelt stories. Thanks for watching. Subscribe Beyond the Surface.